Hello, this is Harry Hobson, President and CEO of Plymouth Harbor.
And I'm Karen Novak, the Administrator for Strategic Health Initiatives here at Plymouth Harbor as well.
Karen, today we're going to go ahead and give our COVID campus update, along with some additional information related to the booster vaccine clinic, our upcoming flu clinic, and also give an update regarding where we stand today regarding our mandatory vaccine program here for all team members. But I want people to stay tuned toward the end of this video because we have a special segment of about, probably 4 to 6 minutes, whereby Karen's going to give us a real basic understanding of the relationship between the viruses and the vaccine. I find it very, very helpful, especially for folks that are non-clinicians. So please hang on toward the end of the video for those extra few minutes. I think you're going to find it worthwhile. So Karen, why don't you go ahead and begin with the COVID campus update?
Currently, we have two of our residents here at Plymouth Harbor that are under observation. None of them are showing any kind of signs or symptoms of COVID, which is always a great sign. We have 4 team members that are positive. And, Harry, some of them are showing mild symptoms, such as runny noses, some congestion, and a little bit of headache. But that's that vaccine working to really help prevent the disease of COVID from really getting to those internal organs like their lungs and their kidneys. The team members that are positive are actually in dining services, safety services, the assisted living or memory care areas. We also have 3 of our team members that are under observation, and they should be returning to us very, very soon here. They too are doing quite well.
And let me emphasize something that you didn't say, and that is that with the vaccinated team members who tested positive, yes, while they have symptoms right now and mild symptoms, there's no hospitalization necessary for them.
That's correct. And they were all fully vaccinated. But again, they're showing those mild symptoms of an infection and not necessarily the disease part of COVID, which is ideally what those vaccines do. They really prevent us from getting, the disease of COVID versus just having that mild symptom or the infection of COVID.
Karen, moving on to the booster vaccine update, I think we're all very aware that today is an important day. This is Friday, September 17th. Members of the FDA Vaccine and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee, they're scheduled to vote at 4:45 today over whether there is enough data to support changing Pfizer's full approval to include the additional shot of the vaccine. Well, that's going to happen by about 4:45 or sometime after that. And we both know that there's going to be a lot of discussion over the weekends from so many of the talking heads, as they're referred to, and the pundits. They'll be giving their opinions. And so there'll be a lot of discussion. What we've decided to do is hold our booster vaccine clinic a week from next Tuesday. So on Tuesday, September 28th, from roughly 10 to 10:15 a.m. through about 6 p.m., we will indeed be offering the booster to all of our residents and all of our team members. I think that's an important day for us, and we're going to follow the same model that was so successful for us in the past, and that is for the residents who understand this better. That is that the Mayflower Dining Room will close for dinner on Monday, and that's the 27th. So we'll have plenty of time to set up for our partners from CVS for that clinic. We'll run the clinic all day then, Tuesday the 28th, and then reopen the Mayflower Dining Room on Wednesday the 29th. So is there anything that I missed as far as that on the booster vaccine?
Well, the booster we're going to add to that booster clinic is the flu vaccine too. We're going to offer you the opportunity to take the flu vaccine simultaneously with your COVID-19 third shot or booster. Now, not everybody has to. We definitely will be offering a flu vaccine clinic at some point in October. We don't have all the details quite yet, but if you don't want to take your flu shot when you get your COVID third dose or booster, know that we'll have another clinic just for the flu vaccine at some point in October.
Okay, good. Thank you, Karen, for that. And then also, let me just give you an update regarding our mandatory vaccine for team members, that initiative. And I have to tell you, it's going quite well. And I'm so appreciative to our team members who have agreed to move forward with the vaccine. If you recall, about a couple of months ago, we were sitting somewhere around 72 to 74% of our team members who were vaccinated. As of today, and our deadline is at the end of today, we'll know for sure for any undecided. But as of this recording, 94% of our team members have either been fully vaccinated or will be receiving their first vaccine within the next few days. So we've moved that needle quite a bit, all the way to 94%. We only have about 4% of our team members, and that's out of about just north of 300 team members. So about 4% indicated that they will not be receiving the vaccine. And I'll emphasize, these are good people. Okay, it has nothing to do with that at all. It's just where they are regarding the vaccine, and they've decided not to do that. And we've got about 5 uh, team member who team members who have applied for either a religious or medical waivers. So we will be reviewing those applications and be giving a decision on that early next week. So bottom line, we've made a lot of progress. We've given a lot of education. People have been receptive to that education, and I'm just so proud of them stepping forward like this. So, Karen, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that you would be providing a little bit of education, if you will, regarding the relationship, as I call it, between the viruses, okay, and the vaccine. And you did such a nice job with that uh, last weekend, explaining it to me. I thought it'd be worthwhile really breaking it down for us non-clinicians. And why don't you go ahead and share it with us?
Gladly. You know, vaccines have been around for quite some time. The majority of us have actually experienced vaccines when we've had them as children. We've had measles, mumps, rubella, polio. We've all had those vaccines. And the intent of that vaccine is to keep the body safe from disease. The body will be exposed to that vaccine, recognize what's in that vaccine, and then not allow the body to get sick. So the whole purpose is to prevent the body from actually getting sick. So vaccines have done their job well by preventing us from getting like the measles, mumps, rubella, and polio. Same philosophy though with the COVID-19 vaccine. It all begins with the vaccine. The vaccine is given to you and then your body, and we're going to pretend like your body is actually an army. And we're going to use a parallel saying the body in the army. So kind of work with me here for just a little bit. Now, once the vaccine goes inside your body, the body will recognize that there is a different substance in your body. And this is usually those proteins that come from the vaccine. So immediately the body responds because it's like, what's going on? There's something new here. So in order to protect itself, the body heats up. And that's why we get a fever. It's almost like a automatic response that immune system has. So again, heats up, that's that first line of defense, trying to get rid of that substance or what the body perceives as something new and different. Continuing forward, though, if it breaks through that front line of defense, the body's still smart enough. It has the ability to send almost like seekers to go out and do some investigation to try to figure out what is going on. So the body in the immune system sends out their second line of defense. Their second line of defense are cells. The first type of cell that they send out is called a B cell. This B cell goes out to investigate, to try to understand what it sees, what the body senses. And when it does, it sends out investigators, which are called antibodies, to really go and try to understand what's in the body, to try to take care of it and make that substance know what it is and try to figure out best how to manage it. But sometimes these B cells need a little bit of help. So they call in their friends, the T cells. So think about the B cells as beginning the process, and they call out the T cells, and together the two cell types actually will send more bodies out to understand what is in your body. What's that presence? What is going on with that vaccine? It's something new that's come into the body, and we want to take care of it. We want to figure it out. We want to make it go away. So the antibodies go out, they take a look. The B cells and T cells are really back there trying to understand what the antibodies are trying to see. And sometimes they still need big guns because some of those little things that come in your body are real tough. So they send out what they call killer T cells. Yes, indeed, they really are called killer T cells. Now, these T cells will go look at that vaccine protein, understand it, and try to make it go away. And they do. They actually take it, absorb it into the cell. But the cool part about when they absorb it into the cell is actually they share that information of what was in that vaccine, and they keep it and they remember it and they store it in memory banks inside the B cells and T cells. So those killer T cells are really helpful to the B cells and T cells to remember what it was that they were exposed to, so that the next time your body is exposed to that particular substance, they know what kind of cells to send out to prevent you from getting sick. The idea with that vaccine, when the cells came to go out and investigate it, was to find out the information about that vaccine content, to store it in the memory banks and to use it when necessary. We know that the memory banks in some of these B cells and T cells are long lasting. If we think about smallpox, 60 years, they store that information inside those memory banks of the T cells and the B cells. We're still looking at the longevity of how long really that memory is for the B cells and T cells for COVID. But no, once those antibodies that have gone out and done their investigation, sometimes their numbers start to fall. But those B cells and T cells hang on to that information. Again, those are the things that are going to send out more antibodies if your body's ever exposed to a virus or that substance, those proteins again. So it really is that virus coming into that vaccine coming into you, the cells understanding what's in that substance, that they can send out the antibodies and then remember what it's all about. So again, they can recall and send out more antibodies if you're exposed to the virus. Gets kind of confusing sometimes, but know that those memory cells are there and they are definitely going to take care of you. And that's what the vaccine will do for us. It will help those memory cells keep you safe, keep you from getting the actual disease. You may get a little bit of an infection with a little bit of a runny nose, but you're not going to have your lungs sick and your kidneys sick and really have that COVID vaccine or the COVID disease.
Karen, I think that's very helpful, and I would urge folks that if they'd like to hear this again, just back this video up a bit to where Karen begins and go through it again. And I've heard you say this several times since last weekend now, But my takeaway always is the same, and that is, why wouldn't I want the vaccine? Why wouldn't I want that extra layer of protection and leadership inside my body, protecting me? Now, I may test positive, I may have symptoms, etc., but the odds that I'm going to end up in the hospital are greatly reduced by having that additional army inside my body working. So I understand it a lot better, and I appreciate that, and I hope our viewers see it the same way.
Yeah,
So
you know, those vaccines are really good. It's a great way to introduce your body to something without you really getting sick. So it's the best of both worlds, prevention. And then if you do get a little bit sick, it's going to keep you from getting into the hospital or even worse outcomes than that.
very good, Karen. Thank you very, very much for sharing that with us today. Karen, I'm looking over my notes and I don't have anything else for today. What about yourself?
No, I think we're good. So we want to remind you to wash your hands quite frequently during the day. Don't forget to hit those high contact areas. We want to make sure that most of all, in a time where you know a mask can truly make the difference, to wear your mask. Once you are outside your apartment, please remember if you're out in the public, that COVID Delta variant is out there. And we really want to keep you safe and keep you protected. We know it's highly, highly infectious. So do your part when you leave your apartment. Don't forget to don your mask. But in the meantime, we want you to stay safe, stay well.
And stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Time to don our mask.